officially live. Hey, how you doing? This is DJ, and welcome to the final part 3 of creating massive profits through the power of your book in 2018. So I'm really glad to be here, and I'm excited, especially for all the feedback we received from the first couple of sessions. And I'm hoping that we're going to end on a brilliant high as I really bring it home with us here tonight. So thank you very much for those of you who've been coming on and showing up consistently, who've been here through part 1, been here through part 2, and are here again. It's absolutely phenomenal. Right. Also, do me a favor, whether you're watching this live or you're watching this playback or the replay, just let me know if you've seen part 1 and part 2. Hey, Darren, how are you doing? Good to see you. Let me know which previous parts you've seen thus far. And if you haven't seen any, just type in none. If you've seen 1, type in 1. If you've seen 2, type in 2. If you've seen both, just do 1 and 2, or do both, actually. If you haven't seen any, just do none. All right, just to get a sense of where we're at. Okay, so great. So the building on in part 1, we looked at your book and understanding the power of a book and how a book could really make a big difference for you. This was the book I held up, and I know some of you are interested in the book, The Accelerated Learning Handbook. Okay, you've not seen any, you definitely want to go back and see parts 1 and 2. Right, so I'll just do a brief summary, all right, Darren, so this should help you. So in part 1, what we looked at is we looked at how powerful a book is, but then identify the fact that a book is high value, but it's also from a financial perspective. You're looking to buy a book, you'll expect to spend maybe 500 to maybe 2,000 naira thereauts. That's how much people kind of expect to invest in a book. So a book's brilliant. It gives you credibility. It establishes you as an authority. But the big challenge is it's not a big cash cow. The book isn't a big cash cow. So we were looking at, okay, how could you use a book to really help you create some massive profits, right? Hey, Emeka, how you doing, bro? And thanks for showing up, right? And what we did say is your book is like a low-hanging fruit. It's something that is easy to access, something that is easily available, that just makes it opens the door to everything else that is behind it. So if you see your book as that very first thing people experience of you, in a sense, it's that first investment they make into you helping them. However, what you want to have is behind the book, you want to have all the other stuff. We talked about your DIY solutions, which are things like online courses, things that people can do by themselves, video programs, audio programs, etc. Those are DIY solutions. Software, for example, is a DIY solution. And then we talked about DWY solution, which is done with you solution. This is where, maybe you're coaching, you're doing live training programs, so people can invest in your coaching programs, they can invest in your live training programs, etc. Where, it's you and them helping them. You're working with them to help them get a solution. And the third type of solution that we talked about is DFY, or done for you services, which is where basically people pay to hand it all over to you and you take care of that situation. So for example, we said if you're an accountant, you could be managing my account. So rather than me learning you could have a course where you teach me how to do my accounts. There could also be a situation where I come to a training room with you where you're coaching me on how to manage my accounts. So you and I get together and you're coaching me on how to manage my accounts. That's done with you. Or the other alternative would be a done for you service where I literally just give it all to you and you take care of the accounts and I don't look at it. And we said the price tends to go up from DIY to DWY to DFY. And all of this could begin with me just buying your book on how to manage your account when you're just starting your business, something like that. So we started with a book, how to manage your account when you're just starting your business, to then moving on to a situation where you are now managing my account and I'm paying you, I don't know, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 a month for you to manage my accounts. I have no idea what the money's all like, so forgive me there, right? But you see, that is basically the idea, is you begin with a book, right, and then have stuff behind it. And I talked about that in part 2. Now, today, I promised you that I was going to literally give you a framework, a proper framework that you could go ahead and implement. And if you get this in place, if you get this in place for 2018, then this year will be brilliant for you. You get this framework in place for 2018, this year is going to be brilliant for you. So one of the challenges many of us have when we try to market, especially online, but offline as well as online, one of the challenges that we actually face is getting people to find us. And so what a lot of us do is there's some really cool free methods that kind of work. Like you can create your own Facebook group and you can, build community there. And that does work, like pen and ink masters. And so, for example, Emeka's put in the work here. He's been, hey, Magic Peter, how you doing? Carrie Mott, how you doing? Right. So now he's created this group. He's been pouring himself into this group. And so he has a community of people that he's built. And some of you are doing the same thing. And if you're doing that, that's phenomenal. That's brilliant. Well done. Right. But if you're sitting here thinking, well, number one, I don't have that kind of reach that Emeka has right now, or maybe I don't really have the time and energy to be doing this, or you know what, everybody and their cousin is having a group, so it's very hard. It's the same thing when the marketplace gets very noisy, right? You either try to make a louder noise or you look for a different approach to get buyers. And this approach that I'm talking about is actually spending money. So if you're spending money to get buyers, the person who has the money will always get priority. I'll say this again. The person who can afford to spend money to get buyers will always have priority in the marketplace over the person who is looking for free ways to do it. All right, so I'm going to be kind of sticking to Facebook. Facebook is not the only place, but because we're on Facebook and Facebook is absolutely a brilliant place to market, I'm just going to be talking about Facebook today primarily. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just describe this framework that you can implement, and it begins with a sales page for your book. So you want to have a sales page for your book, right? And I have one, but I can't show it right now because it's not live just yet. So a sales page for your book is a page where people go where to buy your book, right? And it must be a very compelling sales page. So the mistake you've got to understand something. People don't know you. And if people don't know you yet, if you're not an established, credible authority in your field just yet, then you want to have a brilliant sales page that really sells your book in a powerful, compelling way. I'm going to do something right now. I'm going to share a link. Actually, Emeka, you've got to give me some feedback. I'm not sure that it's not live, but I just want them to see this as an example. Should I share this later or should I share it now? So you just let me know. So I'll kind of work that out. If not, this page isn't live yet, so I'm kind of not certain 100% whether to share it with you or not, right? But I will share it with you before the end of the year. Okay, so it's going to be a really compelling sales page, a sales page where when people land on there and they read about the book, they will be compelled to bring out their card and buy your book, right? So I'm not talking about bestseller on Amazon or things like that. Your own sales page on your own website. It's a sales page for your book on your website. We have no interest in being a bestseller on Amazon, right? Not for now. Let's make some money first, okay? Our goal here is to make 2018 a financially productive and effective year for you, not a year to be famous for nothing, right? Okay. Hey, Anu, how you doing? Thanks for showing up. Good to have you, right? Now, so you have your book sales page where you could sell your book with anything. 500 up to 3,000 Naira. Again, I don't know. So here in the UK, it's usually anything from £5 up to maybe £10, right? So it's the same thing at 500 to maybe 3,000 Naira. It's up to you. You determine, however you want to price it, because the reality is it's not really about the price of the book, because that's not where you're going to be making money, right? So this is it. So this is the order. You have a sales page for your book, right? Now, when people buy your book, they are then taken to another offer. It's another offer. So as soon as they buy your book, they'll be taken to another offer straight away. Now, what is this offer? This offer would be for a DIY type solution, a do-it-yourself type solution, something like an online course. It could be a video course, an audio program, something that would be priced between maybe 10,000 and maybe 100,000 naira. I mean, I don't know, anything from 10K to 100K would be, I think, an ideal solution. It could be lower, right? If you wanted to price it lower, maybe 5,000, but I would say 10K to 100K, depending on your market, etc. Right? So you have a book sales page. As soon as they buy the book, they'll be given an offer, right? And follow this process, folks, because this process is powerful. They'll be given an offer to buy a DIY solution like an online course or an audio program or a video program that you have created. Okay? Now, and price between 10K and 100K, right? I hope this is making sense, folks. If it's making sense, just give me a yes in the comment section, okay? So now, everybody, whether they buy that, now, the purpose, let me explain the purpose of this upsell, this online course or audio program or video program. I'm going to help you understand why we have this here. This thing you're selling here has one purpose primarily. The purpose is to fund your advertising. That's why it's there, right? It's the purpose of that course is, it's to fund your advertising. So we'll look at the numbers in a moment and you'll understand that. You have your book, which is to trigger a buyer. So your book, the purpose of your book is to trigger a buyer who is interested in the topic of your book. The purpose of the online course or video audio program is to fund your advertising, is to pay for your advertising. So you see, each one of those have a purpose. The book is to trigger a buyer. It's low cost, 500 to 2K or 3K, low cost. It's to trigger a buyer. The online course or video program or audio program is to pay for your advertising that you're going to be doing. That's why you have that there. And then what then happens is, hey, Uche, thanks for showing up. What then happens is everybody who buys the book, whether they buy the online course or not, would automatically be taken to a page where they will book a free consultation with you, what we would normally refer to as a discovery call. So they buy the book, then when they buy the book, if you trigger a buyer who is interested in the topic of what you help people solve, they are then given an offer for your online course, your video program, your audio program. The purpose of that is those who buy that will pay for your advertising. Then once they've done that, everybody, now even if they don't buy that, whether they buy it or not, they would be given the opportunity to get a free consultation with you, a free one-to-one consultation. How long? It's up to you. 45 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, it's fine. This would be a little, so 45 minutes is great, I would suggest, right? But it's up to you, right? Good. So now, when they get on that bonus, so that's a, hey, something like, hey, congratulations on getting your book. And I'm so glad this book is really going to help you. But I have another surprise for you. It's an unannounced bonus. I really want to help you achieve whatever it is your book helps them achieve. And that's the reason why I'm going to sit down with you and offering you a special bonus. This would normally cost this much, but I'm giving it to you for free. We're going to get together for 45 minutes, and I'm going to help you really just understand what it is that you need to do, to get your accounts in place if we're still using that accounts example. So you offer them a free consultation, and they book that. It's scheduled, and it's locked into your calendar. Okay? Now, the key thing here is all these people who are booking an appointment with you are people who are buyers. They're not freebie seekers. Right? So everybody who's booking an appointment with you is a buyer, not a freebie seeker. How do you know that? Because they bought your book. Even if they didn't buy the online course, they bought your book. So you're giving your time to a person who qualifies for your time. Right? I hope this makes sense, right? Because this, folks, is hugely powerful. Right? Now, so when you then offer them, when you then have the discovery call with them, this is where you sit down with them, you ask them questions. Discovery calls are a very powerful way for you to grow your business. Now, People say, well, people come and they get it for free, and then they go and nobody wants to buy from me. There's two reasons for that. If you're offering discovery calls right now, is there anybody here who's offering discovery calls? You know, you're offering people free consultations and they're not buying from you. If that's happening to you, just let me know, because I know that happens for a lot of people, right? And if that happens, it's usually either because, one, you're talking to the wrong people. Not everybody qualifies for your time. The fact that it's free does not mean it's free for everybody. You've got to qualify who you give your time to. The second reason is because, well, really, we don't know how to do it, right? That's one of my favorite phrases, statements. It says, the labor of the fool wears every one of them because he doesn't know how to get to the city, which basically means if you're working hard at something and you don't know how to do it right, your results won't be great. So you need to learn how to. But discovery calls are very powerful, and that's why you want to offer discovery calls to everybody who buys your book, whether they buy the upsell or not, right? And then off of the consultation that you have with them, the discovery call you have with them, then you can then help them to upgrade to whatever else you have, either a DIY solution, a done with you solution, or a done for you solution. So basically, you offer them the consultation. So, and then from there, you offer them either a DIY solution, a done with you solution, or a done for you solution. Now, I'm going to give you my recommendation. This is what I recommend. What I'm sharing with you right now is something I only share with people in my Elite Mentoring program, right? Now, my recommendation is, what should you offer off of a discovery session? What should you offer? That's a question I get, right? You should offer a discounted, done with you session. That's what I recommend. So, it could be an online class or a live on location class. It could be a coaching session or a strategy consultation, but a situation where you are with them. So for example, right, you have I buy your book. Now, when I buy your book, you offer an online course. But at that point in time, I wasn't really sure about this online course, so I didn't buy the online course. I bought the book, but I didn't buy your online course because I wasn't really sure that I wanted to spend that kind of money just yet. But when I saw that there's a free consultation with you, I'm excited. This guy or this girl who wrote this wonderful book is going to spend 30 minutes with me. I'm pumped up. I'm excited, right? So I go in there and I book the appointment with you, right? So now you and I get together. So we get together and you're asking me questions about where I am, what I've been doing, how well it's been working. And you use my discovery called Magic Method, and I'll share a little bit about that with you later. You take me through how it works, you take me through what needs to be done, etc., etc. And then as we come to the end, you then turn to me and say, all right, DJ, you then give me some clarity, you give me some understanding, it's beginning to make sense. And at this stage, you now say, this is what we need to do next. You and I need to get together for about 2 hours, and we need to work on the strategy. We're going to do this and this and this and this. And by the time we're through, we'll have done this. Don't worry about the price. This is how much I normally charge, but I'm not going to charge you anything near that because this is the first time you're working with me. I'm going to give you a really, really brilliant discount. But let's look at our calendars and schedule an appointment first. And I'm excited. I'm actually going to sit down with you, and you're going to spend 2 hours with me to help me work on this thing that has been stressing me. I'm excited. But not only that, I'm getting a discount. So instead of spending maybe 70,000 Naira, I'm going to be doing it for 25K. 25K. And I'm thinking, Christmas has come early, right? So I booked the appointment with you. I'm saying 25K. I booked the appointment with you, right? And I'm excited. Very, very excited. So I booked that appointment with you, and then we then go and do that thorough 2-hour strategy consultation. And at the end of the consultation, you then, at this stage, I'm so excited. I've already seen so much movement working. I'm saying to myself, how can I have you helping me? I'm thinking, I have a vision now. I have belief. I can see that I can finally achieve this, but I want you to help me. And this is where you and I can then sit down and look at how you can help me. This is where I might enroll in your 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 naira program, all from a 1,000 naira book. Can you see that? Started with a 1,000 naira book. There was an online course I didn't buy. Then I booked a 25,000 naira consultation. And off the back of that, I'm looking at working with you over a period of time for 500K, right? And now, I might be a 500K person. Maybe the other person's not 500K. He is 100K. Maybe the other person's only just 50K. Maybe the other person is 5 million. You get the whole idea, right? Basically, depending on the level at which they're able to have you help them, everybody comes in at a level. And all this begins with one book. All this begins with just one book. That is the power of what I call the book to client funnel, right? Okay, so let me break this down for us a little bit. All right, let me break this down for us a little bit. Okay, so we can really get this, right? Because this is 2018. If you write, you really need to be making money. You really need to. And you've got to understand something about being strategic with your business. Don't be a noisemaker. Don't be a broke noisemaker. Most people who are on Facebook, and I'm going to say this as a matter of fact because I really want to help you, right? Most of the people who are on Facebook are broke. That's a fact, right? I know that. And I'm not just respecting them. It's a reality, right? And it's not just, it's across the world. It really is, because it's a free platform. So people just come on, they read a book, and they come onto social media, and they share a phrase from the book they read, and they get lots of likes and comments. Oh, this, and it kind of makes it does a lot for their egos. It doesn't do a lot for their bank accounts, right? So my encouragement to you, right, is to step away from all of this, right, and start asking yourself, I need to, how can I be strategic about making a difference, helping people, and getting paid? That means you've got to be a little more intentional in 2018. Strategic and intentional. Don't copy what other people are doing, because other people aren't really doing anything productive. Honestly, most of them aren't, right? So what I just shared with you basically is a solution that will help you start making money consistently that you can then scale, right? And that's one key thing I want you to understand. So you begin with that book sales page, you have your online course upsell page, and then the opportunity for them to have a free consultation with you. And then from that, so I'm literally laying out my process. This is my process I'm sharing with you. From that free consultation, a discounted done with you session, which could be an online class, it could be a live class, it could be a coaching session, or it could be a strategy consultation. But this is a paid done with you solution. And on the back of that, you then look at how you can, based on where they're at, what they want to do, what their abilities are, what the ideal next step for them is. For some people, it might be a 50,000 naira solution. For some people, it might be a 5 million naira solution, but you would already have your solutions packaged for different people at where they come in, right? And so later on, you start to do the math, because business is really all about numbers. Business is really all about numbers. So at the end of the day, you know what, let me just stop here so I don't overwhelm you, right? But I hope this kind of makes sense. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to just do a little bit of math without going into a lot of detail so you can understand how powerful this is. So let's imagine that you have your book, which is 2,000 naira, right? And you've been able to get 10 people buy the book at 2,000 naira, okay? But let's say that it costs you, hypothetically, 4,000 naira to get one buyer. It costs you 4,000 naira to get one buyer, okay? So it costs 4,000 naira to get one buyer. So you've got 10 buyers, which means you spent 40K, right? You spent 40,000 naira to get 10 people, because you paid money for Facebook ads, for example. So 10 people, so you spent 40K, right? You made 20K, so you're still down by 20. But let's say 2 of those people who bought your book bought your online course at 15,000 naira. right? So that means that 2 people of those 10, so 8 of them just bought the book and then booked an appointment. 2 of them bought the book and bought your online course as well, which is 15,000 naira, which means you made 30K from the sales of the online course. So 30K plus 20K is 50K, right? So you spent 40,000 naira to make 50,000 naira, but you've now got 10 appointments with serious people, right? So you've spent 40K, you've made 50K, which means you've got 10K profit, but you've now got 10 appointments with serious people. So straight away, what your online course has done, as I said, it's paid for your advertising. Isn't that brilliant? But now let's now look at those 10 people you have the appointment with. You now have appointments with these 10 people, these discovery sessions with them, right? So you have the discovery session with 10 people, and of these 10, 7 of them, so maybe what you offer them is a 2-hour strategy consultation, and you offered it at a discounted price of only 20,000 naira. Normally, a strategy consultation with you is, I don't know, 50K. That's what is listed on your website at 50K. But when you speak to them, you're offering them an opportunity for at least have you help them achieve something in the area that you work at a discount. So you get 7 people who pay 20K each, which is 140K, right? So of those 10 people who bought your book, 7 of them booked strategy consultation with you at 20K, that's 140K each, right? Now let's say on average, right? So that's 140 plus the 10K. So right now you have made 150,000 naira. Okay. Now let's say on average, each one of these people generates you an income of, and I'm going to keep it really modest, of 100,000 on average for these 7. So that would be 700K. In total, that would be 850,000 naira from 10 people who bought your book. All right. Now, this is the secret. Of using the power of leverage. And this all begins with 10 people buying a 2,000 naira book. Right? That's where it begins with, because as you help them to upgrade. You're helping them to upgrade, and the numbers tend to work that way. So this is how it scales. This is how it grows, and this is the reason why some authors are doing very, very well. And a lot of people think it's the book. It's not the book. It isn't. It's not the book. It's all that stuff behind it, right? So you see someone who's, what you see is the book. You don't see all the stuff behind it, right? Everybody's talking about their book. What we don't see is all the stuff behind it. And then what we then go and do is you then want to go and write a book, and you're all over the place trying to get people to buy your 2,000 naira book, and you're frustrated. You're frustrated because you can't afford to market it. So all you can do is chase after friends and family, going into different groups and then saying, hey, I've got my book. And you're all over Instagram and Twitter and Facebook talking, I've got my book. Because what you don't know is that there's someone else who is like you, who is not better than you, who is not more skilled than you, and all he or she is doing is they build this book to client funnel. They have a structured system that they have built, and all you see is their book, but behind it is all that other stuff. It's the system that helps them to make money from them helping other people, right? And that's pretty much how it's done. I've had people come up to me and say, DJ, you're never selling. You don't do a lot of selling. Why don't you do a lot of selling? I had someone ask me, they said, I went to your website. I didn't see anything to buy there. How do you make money? This is it. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. People say you give away so much for free. How do you make money? This is how we do it. What I just shared with you is exactly how it's done. Right? And so I've been now, Emeka's talked about something that we're looking to do for 5 people. And I'm gonna really just share it here because it's a big deal. I struggled with this. There's something I used to run called the profit pulling pipeline. And with the profit pulling pipeline system, right, with the profit pulling pipeline system, right, what we do, please listen to this because it's really crucial, right, is I would get together with about 8 coaches in a room, right, and over 3 days we will build a funnel like this, right, and it normally costs to get that done with 8 coaches, never more than 8 because I can't work with more than 8 people. It's very intense. We work to build a funnel like this, and it's £1,500, and it's hugely popular at that price because it's cheap, right? Now the concern that we had was when Emeka basically come to me and said, well, I remember actually Emeka was going to come down here to UK for me to work with him and help him build something like this. He was going to come down here, right, to the UK to attend it, and I told him that if he came down, I'll give it to him at half the price, at $750, because I knew it was going to cost him a lot to come down here, right? But that's how much people pay to come here and a done with you solution where I work with them in the room to build a funnel like this, because a funnel like this is a cash machine, right? Now, so what we have decided to do, folks, and listen, is we want to help 5 authors like you to actually build out your book to client funnel, build it all out, to structure the strategy and the game plan. And we're going to sit down with you, we're going to structure it, and then we're going to build it out. We're going to write the copy with you, the copy on the pages. We're going to build the pages on your website. I'm going to sit down with you and I'm going to help you structure your strategy. So we're going to look at what you can offer and things like that. I'm going to literally take you through all of this, right? I'm going to guide you through it. I'm going to structure it. I'm going to show you how to get it done, right? So I'm going to sit down with you. I'm going to map out the strategy. Emeka's going to help you with copy, right? So he's going to write copy that would work and nail it. And many of you know that when Emeka writes, people are drawn in. So I spoke to Emeka, I think it was about a year ago, and I told him, I said, you really need to get into copywriting. So we're going to do all your copy for you. I'm going to get all your copy done, right? Emeka's going to take care of that, and then I'm going to be looking at it. I'm going to be making sure that everything's in place, everything's well sorted, and then we're going to get it built. We're going to build all the pages into your website, set them all up so they link to your payment processor, they link to your calendar scheduler. So as it's all automated. All this, the way it's going to work is people book an appointment. As soon as people buy the book. As soon as they buy the book, they'll be taken to the upsell page. As soon as they do, they're taken to your appointment scheduling page. So all you're going to notice is 2 things: 1, money going into your bank account; 2, appointments in your calendar. So you could just go at the beginning of the week, you can look at your calendar and you can see how many appointments you have, who you have them with, right? And that's pretty much how it's going to work. So, and then you get together with people and you run those discovery calls, and then you can then begin to upgrade them into the different solutions. So you have what I call a semi-automated system set up for you, which is very, very powerful. The truth is, you need this. Now, because of the way it's designed, you will be able to afford to do Facebook ads. You will spend money. So this is not going into groups and doing, putting on your profile and tagging all your friends because you've written a book, hoping that if you tag all your friends, maybe 1 or 2 people are going to buy. Now, you're going to run targeted Facebook ads. Facebook is going to be putting your book in front of the right people, and you will be able to afford it because your system will pay for your ads, right? So you're literally stepping out of playing with the small boys to playing with the big boys, because you're doing what 99% of people who are marketing on Facebook are not doing. You're spending money, but you're not wasting money because you have a system behind it that's making money for you. Because I know some of you may have run Facebook ads in the past, and then you spent $10, you didn't make any money, and you just stopped it. Nah, this is different. You will spend money. In fact, you will spend a lot of money on Facebook ads. And the reason why you'll be spending a lot of money on Facebook ads is because you'll be making money. The more you spend, the more you make, because you have a system behind it that is working for you. So that's what we're going to be doing. Now, I spoke to Emeka about this, and I'm going to say this very, very upfront. This for me, and I'm being honest, right? For me, it's more of a goodwill venture. It's not a financial venture at all. It's not, from a financial perspective, it's just not worth it for me. But I have a desire, right? And my desire is I want to create success stories in Nigeria. I've been working with people here in the UK. I've not been able to work with people in Nigeria as much as I would want to, simply because it's my rates are UK rates because I live here and it's expensive to live here. If I lived in Nigeria, I might be able to afford to charge less, right? But I can't do that because so it's been a struggle. But with this one, we're taking on 5 people, and we've priced it in a way that would make it really easy for anybody who is really serious about playing a bigger game. And in all sincerity, I'm excited more about the results I'm going to help people get. I'm not excited about the money because from a financial perspective, it doesn't make business sense for me to do this. But this is not really business, even though it is. It's really more a case of I've had a desire for a while to do something for my country, in a sense, and this is a way of doing that. Okay, good. So I know that we're offering all of this, building it for you with just 5 people. And the reason why it's 5 is because we can't do more than 5. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. We can't work with more than 5 people. And Emeka, I think it's 150,000, isn't it? It's 150,000 naira, right, for us to do all this work with you. So it's 5. So it's the first 5 people who do this. The first 5 people who take this on, I'm going to get together with you. We're going to spend time together. We're going to design. So I'm going to design with you your whole game plan, the funnel. We're going to design the funnel. We're going to look at the offers that you're going to be putting in place. We're going to structure it. If you haven't written a book yet, actually, you know what? If you haven't written a book yet, we can still do this. What we'll do is we'll structure it around the book you haven't written. Okay. If you've written a book already, brilliant. That makes it a lot easier, right? So we go ahead and I'm going to work with you. We're going to do that. And once we've designed it, then Emeka's going to get together with you, and he's going to help you to work with you to craft the copy that's going to be compelling in your sales pages. That's going to be really compelling and draw people and getting people wanting to spend money with you. He's going to do that. And then finally, we're going to get Ruth's going to be literally building it all out for you, building the pages, setting up all of the automation with you, setting it up where everything's talking to everything, your email provider, your payment processor, your calendar scheduler, and all the pages are built and everything's working and sweet, so you're ready to drive paid traffic to your funnel and start making money in 2018. So I think Emeka's going to give us the details because I really don't know. He's going to give you the details of how to sort this out. The 150,000. So please read, and he'll tell you how to make that payment, etc., etc. But I'm looking. It's just 5 people. For like I said, for obvious reasons. We just want to create case studies. We want to create success stories, right? And so if we're ever going to do this again, it will be much more than this, much more. But then for the first 5 people, we're going to use your success stories to really bring people in who are going to want to come in, at what closer to what it's really worth. Normally it would be it would be a lot of money, but we're going to do that. And I'm so excited about the possibilities and the opportunities which are available. It's just a book, but it's not just a book. It's really your expertise and your solutions that you can use to change people's lives, and it's about building a business around that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please ask your questions. Any thoughts, please share your thoughts. We will be done very, very soon. So go ahead and ask your questions. Wow, and thank you very much for showing up. I hope this has been useful. I mean, over the last 3 sessions, if you know what, if you missed session 1 and session 2, you need to watch them. You really need to, right? Because I'll be honest with you, what I have shared here really is life-changing. It really is life-changing. I really encourage. I wish I was in your shoes right now. If I was in your shoes right now, especially when I was still trying to find my way about 10, 15 years ago, I would have grabbed this with both hands, right? So I'm really excited about those who we're going to be working with. So please reach out to Emeka. He shared the details there. connect, just do that. And it's not a gimmick. We really can't do more than 5. 5 is a lot, right? 5 is going to keep us very busy, actually. So the fact that we're taking on that many people at such a low price, it really is goodwill. Kenechukwu, thank you very much. Awesome. You guys are awesome. You guys are absolutely brilliant. And thanks for those who showing up and stayed to the end. I hope this has been great. And I hope this is going to be really useful for you. Will this work for fiction authors? Honestly, I don't think so. Honestly, I really don't think so. It really is more for people who are in the solving problems, achieving something space, really. So whether it's people who want to raise good children, people who want to be a better husband, a better mother, make more money, advance your career, raise how to manage your finances, how to anything that does, how to, whatever, anything that has to do with improving something, whatever it is, relationships, health, finances, career, business, anything at all, weight management, health, the whole thing, health and fitness, anything at all that has to do with advancement and improvement and, learning a skill, speaking, whatever, anything at all that fits into it, it can work. But for fiction, in reality, it probably wouldn't. It won't be a good fit. Won't be a good fit. Yes, it would be to solve a problem. It would be to solve a problem for a particular type of person. So, how to, even if it's, how to lose weight, how to discover your path, how to overcome a failure, how to, as long as you can do a how to it, then it can fit. So think, can you say how to something? If you can say how to something around your book, then it would fit. If you can't do a how to, then let's have it and see if it can fit, right? So as long as there's a how to, if you can say how to before whatever it is that your book is about, you can do a how to. So in a sense, let's look at this one. This book is the Accelerated Learning Handbook. I would say how to design training that actually works and that is fun. That's what this book is about. How to design training that's fun and actually helps people learn quickly. That would be a good how-to title for this book. So if you can do a how-to, around your book, you can if you can take your book and create a how-to topic for your book, then your book is good to go. Health and wellness, most definitely, how to get rid of stubborn baby weights and be fit and fit into that old dress you haven't worn for the last 3 years, right? That's so it definitely works in the health and wellness space. It's an absolute pleasure, Julian. Okie dokie. Any other questions? If not, we're going to be ending this. I'm kind of enjoying this. I could go on, and because if you do ask questions, I will answer them, folks. I promise you that, right? So this is a good time. I'm going to be ending it in about a minute if no questions come up. So this is an opportunity for you to get those questions answered. Yeah. So like I said, for those of you who are really looking at cranking things up, reach out to Emeka right now and have a chat. If you want to clarify things, reach out to him, have a chat, ask questions. But there's 5 spots, and I reckon they're going to go quickly. So speak to him and let's do that. Right? Awesome. But I've absolutely enjoyed this. I am still enjoying it, but I do need to go because I've got another appointment in about 15 minutes. So, but if you do have questions, I will try to quickly answer them. And as there has been no question come through, I want to say thank you very much, and I want to wish every single person who's been showing up here, every single one of you, I want to wish you an amazingly brilliant 2018. I also want to encourage you. To make a commitment to do things a little different. I want to challenge you to make a commitment to play a different game. For example, are there other things that we can add to this? Oh yeah, you can. You can literally scale up the funnel as much as you want. What I'm doing here is a simple funnel. because you can scale up the funnel and you can add on stuff, right? In fact, you can, but I wanted to really keep it really simple and strategic. So yes, you can. You can stack, and it all, So, for example, when people have bought your book, you can add a bonus to the book to give them a greater incentive to buy the book, and as well as the upsell with the online course, you can also stack on one or two things and really enhance the value and get people to take action. So those kind of things do boost sales. So definitely you can do that. But I just didn't want to overwhelm us by just loading on a lot of stuff like that. But yes, you can. You can definitely stack on. You can add on bonuses and things like that because it does help with conversions. Hope that helps. Right? Awesome. So as I was saying, just make a commitment to yourself, folks. Make a commitment to you that 2018 will be different. And, I'm going to say something, right? New Year resolutions don't work. And there's a reason why New Year resolutions don't work, because it's the same you, and you haven't really made a commitment to change. You've just made a commitment to do stuff. And there's a difference, right? Well, let me explain what I mean. If you're looking to change, then you've got to be radical. If you don't make radical changes to your situation, and you won't change what you do, you'll go back. So let me say, all right, I want to start going to the gym, you say, for example, right? Because I want to lose my belly fat, right? And a lot of people kind of do that at the beginning of the year. Well, the reality is, if you don't radically change your situation, if all you want to do is change your activities, well, the reality is, by the time you do it for a week or 2 or 3, after a while, your body and your mind will go back to what it's used to, and that is not going to the gym, right? So instead, you've got to make radical changes. Now, what could radical changes be like? A radical change, for example, would be enrolling in, rather than going to the gym, you enroll in a program that costs you money, where if you don't show up, you're going to basically, every time you don't show up, you pay more money. Think about it. So when you enroll in the program where every time I don't show up, I'm going to be paying for not showing up, you are doubly committed. So you're changing your environment by putting yourself under a different condition than you were under before. So now by saying I'm going to go to the gym, that's more of a, I have to do something I don't really want to do. But now a different condition, which means if I don't go to the gym today, I'm losing money. I'm going to have to pay a fine. So that is a different condition to the condition you are under in 2017. So you've got to change your conditions, not just your decisions. Because until the conditions change, even if you make a decision, you will go back to what you're used to, what you're comfortable with. And that's one of the reasons why most of our New Year resolutions don't work. And I know this has got nothing to do with what we're saying, but I just felt to share that with us here because I know that it will help someone, and I hope it's you, right? So if you're looking to go into 2018, right, and you've sat down, you've written your goals, and you've done your New Year resolutions, I really want to say to you that you need a little more than just goal setting and New Year resolutions. You need change. You need radical change. You need to change the conditions under which you live your life. Right, and that could mean many things. You've got to change the conditions, because the conditions under which you're living, as long as you stay in these conditions, right, you will resort back to your comfort zone. After a while, you will go back to what you're comfortable with, right? And that's why most of us just don't change. Beginning of the year, we're committed. When we're in church and crossover, we sit down, we write those goals, we make the commitment, we're going to do things different, but we go back because the conditions are still the same. I hope that makes sense. I'm just going to leave that here, and I hope that was useful for someone. So keep on being phenomenal. This has been a very long one, and I do apologize, but I hope it's been beneficial to you. But thanks a lot for showing up, and have a happy New Year. God bless, and bye for now.